All right, so I am slowly dying under a sea of head straps here. So if you want to go and upgrade the head strap on your Quest 3 or your Quest 3S, I've got pretty much every head strap I reviewed over the last year, I think. So we're going to be looking at all of them. The head strap ones with a battery, some without a battery. We've got Elite style head straps, Halo style head straps, and price ranging from $16 to $170. So if you're wondering which head strap you should be buying next, I've got you pretty much covered in this video. So cheapest one first, and this is the Zyber VR Elite head strap. So on the back here, you've just got this silicone back, which just goes on the back of your head. It's got a fair amount of flexibility to it, so it molds to the back of your head quite nicely. On the top here, you've got this sort of padded head strap, and it's covered in a faux leather, so that's going to be nice and soft on the top of your head. Moving on to the arms here, and they've got this pivot point, so when you're wearing them, you can lift your headset up when you want to have a look and see what's happening around you. And the ratchet at the back is quite good, suits a range of different head sizes. The one thing you will notice with the cheaper headsets is that they do rattle a bit, whereas the more expensive ones don't do that. So let me just go and put this on. That goes on there, that goes on there, and then this just goes in through the top. But that's pretty much what this looks like when it's fitted to the Quest 3. One thing I do like on this head strap is that it's got an overhang over the front, which makes it nice and easy for being able to take off the headset, which for someone who takes a lot of head straps on and off all the time is actually really useful. The back pad here is a bit narrower than other ones that you'll see later, so if you've got a smaller head, this might be better for you. It also pivots around 10 degrees to mold to your head no matter your head shape. Now the price for this is pretty shocking, because at the moment on Amazon, you can get it for $16. That's a bargain. So the next head strap we're going to look at is the KK Cobb VRQ3. Now this is a Halo style head strap. This is how it sits on your head, and then these arms come down, and then your headset attaches to these arms, and then so all the weight of the headset and the head strap is actually balanced on your forehead, so a lot of people find that more comfortable. So let me just go and put it on one of the headsets first. So I'm just going to put it on the Quest 3S. It snaps on a similar way to the other one, snaps on either arm. There is an extra strap for this which attaches the headset to the headband across the top here. It's just basically Velcro that goes across the top and loops around. I don't use it because I don't see the point in it. I also don't see much of the point of the top strap. I mean, A, it's not padded, so it's not particularly soft on the top of your head. And Halo style head straps, if they're done properly, all of the weight of the headset and the headband should be across this forehead bar, so across the top of your head. So that top band really isn't doing anything. So I just recommend taking it off, and it's just a lot cleaner look without it. So if I take this off, and now it's a lot of a cleaner look. So it's also a lot easier to put on and off. Suits a massive range of head sizes. You can't really feel any weight of the headset onto your face because it's all across here. Some of the cool features of this headset is you've got the ratchet at the back, which is a little bit noisy, but it's not really moving. Oh, stress test. I mean, it's creaking a bit, but it's not breaking. The back pad, there's no padding. It is just a sort of soft rubberized silicone, fairly flexible. So it's just going to mold to the back of your head quite nicely. And that forehead bar across the top here, nice soft padded leather. And that PU leather means it's nice and easy to wash down and keep clean as well. One of the cool features of this head strap is these ratchets or these little wheels on the side. So you can tune how far you want the headset to be closer or further away from your face. So for fitness games, when they're closer to your face, it's going to be a snugger fit. Then if you're doing something a little bit more relaxing, maybe a game of Cubism or something like that, then you can undo it all the way like that. And then it'll be a little bit further away from your face and a little bit more relaxing to wear. This bar across the top here, it does wrap quite a way around your face. So you can see it kind of wraps all the way around to here. Now that's okay, but I have quite a big head. With this wrapping round, I find it quite narrow. So I think if you've got a big head, you might find pressure points on the side of your head. If you've got a small to medium sized head though, that's not going to be a problem. Price wise, considering all the features you're getting, this is pretty good. The retail price for this is $26, and at the moment you can get it for around $23. So next one on the list is the AMVR Elite style head strap. Very similar to the other two. You will notice a bit of an increase in build quality from the first one, but it is a little bit more expensive. You now have the upgrade to a padded back. So you've got this padding on the back, so it's going to sit nice and softly on the back of your head and give you a little bit more cushioning. It is, however, a bit more rigid on the back, so it doesn't sort of mold around your head as much as the silicone back pads do. Still, it's nice and comfy on the back of your head. You've also got this padded top strap at the top as well. However, it is a little narrow. I do like a fatter top strap because it distributes the weight just a little bit better. You've got these pivot points on the top, so you can lift it up, although it doesn't particularly stay in place. Nice and strong. It's not going to break. The ratchet at the back is nice and smooth. So big range of head sizes, all the way from really small up to really big. It does rattle a little bit, but not as much as the cheapest one, which was $16. So price-wise, this retails for $34, although you can get it for $26 at the moment. So we're still under $30, and yeah, you're still getting some pretty good head straps. So now we're looking at the Kiwi Design K4. This is their latest head strap, without a battery, that is. So let me go and stick this on the 3. And we'll take this off. If this video teaches you nothing else, it's how to take head straps on and off. Okay, so there we go. So you'll see the padding here. That's nice and thick, and the PU leather means you can easily wipe it down. That continues through to that top strap as well. So that top strap also is nice and wide, so it's going to help distribute that weight across the top of your head. And you've got these pivot points again for putting the headset up if you want to have a look around, or just easily for taking your headset on and off. And it's really well made. I mean, Kiwi head straps I have used for years and they really don't break. The head strap itself rattles very little, especially a lot less than the cheaper head straps. You are starting to pay a bit more for this, so the retail price for this is $40, but you can get it down to $32. So now we've got another Halo style head strap, and this is the Globular Cluster CMQ3. Now there's quite a few extra bits that come with this head strap, so we're just going to put it on first, and then we'll get into the extra bits. So you've got this padding bar across the top. Again, if a Halo style head strap does it properly, from a design perspective, you don't really need this because it's holding no weight, so I tend to not use it. Now, what this head strap has that the others don't, it has so many choices for the different fabrics that you can use on the forehead bar and the back pad as well. So by default, I've got the fabric one here on the front and also on the back. So they're probably the most breathable options. But it also comes with 2 other options. So you've got PU leather for the forehead bar first. Now that's going to make that nice and easy to sort of wipe down and keep clean, but it's probably the least breathable out of the 3. And then you've got this mesh fabric one as well, which you can put on instead. And then instead of the fabric back pad, you can have this silicone back pad instead. Or if you don't want that, or you don't like the fabric, or you want to keep that protected because maybe you're getting hot and sweaty, you can put the silicone cover over the top. So many options as to which fabrics you want to use with it. I've never seen any other company give you that amount of choice. This one fits my head really well. It's a lot wider. So if you've got a big head and you want a Halo style head strap, then this is going to fit you a lot better than, say, the Q3 that we looked at before that I said was quite narrow. It's nice and strong as well. Now the retail price for this is quite expensive though, because it is $70, which is about twice the price, or more than twice the price, than the Kiwi Design one we just looked at. But at the moment you can get it for $55. But I still think it's quite expensive for what it is. If you're wondering what this thing at the back is, now this is actually a battery holder. However, that's going to cost you $19 if you wanted to add it later. Inside here is what I think is a better alternative. So this is the Bobo VR M3 Plus. Technically this is a battery head strap, but it's actually cheaper than the Globular Cluster that we just looked at. It does take the older batteries from the Quest 2 head strap, which are the B2 batteries, so they're not as good as the newer B100 batteries, and I get that, but you are getting a Halo style head strap that is cheaper than the Globular Cluster one, and you'll get some extra power from the battery, and that helps act as a counterbalance to your headset on the front. So for $50, I think if you're looking at $50 and you're looking at the Globular Cluster, this one kind of makes more sense because it's cheaper and it's already got the battery already attached. One thing I just forgot to mention was all of the weights of the non-battery head straps. So the Zyber VR Elite head strap was 220 grams. The KK Cobb VR Q3 was 253 grams. AM VR Elite head strap was 214, so it was the lightest of the 5 we just looked at. The Kiwi Design K4 was 234 grams, so it was the heaviest Elite head strap we just looked at, and the Globular Cluster CMQ3 was the heaviest out of all of them at 273 grams. So we'll now look at battery head straps, and we'll start at the cheapest and we'll get to the most expensive, which was up to $170, which is insane, but I'll show you why it's $170 later. So the first one we've got is the KK-Cobb VR-Q3 Pro. Now this is their battery version of the non-battery one that we just looked at. One thing about this is I do find it a little bit tricky trying to get to the dial at the back because the battery gets in the way. It's not just the battery that's different from the Q3. The Q3 Pro also brings a padded top strap, easy to nice and keep clean. And then the back pad is also padded PU leather as well. So I do find this a comfier head strap than their Q3. It does suffer from the same thing that the Q3 suffered from, is I do find this bar across the top quite narrow. So on my big noggin of a head, I do find it quite tight. The battery on here is 10,000 milliamps, which is going to give you an extra 2 to 3 hours of gameplay on your Quest 3 or your Quest 3S. However, the downer of the battery is it takes 3.5 hours to charge. So if you're the type of person that wants continuous battery life, well, this headset probably isn't for you. But if you just want a couple of extra hours playtime with a battery, this well could be. And the weight of the KK-Cobb VR-Q3 Pro head strap was 444 grams. Price of that is $50, still $50, and it is the cheapest head strap battery-wise that we've got in this list. So now we're going to move on to the next one, which is the Kiwi Design K4 Boost. Similar to the KK-Cobb one, this is just the battery version of their K4, and it literally just adds a battery integrated into the back of the head strap itself. Suits a massive range of head sizes from really big to really small. Same as their non-battery version, you've got this padded top strap at the top, nice thick foam as well. And then on the padded back strap here, that's nice and soft for going on the back of your head. This isn't as flexible as their non-battery version, so it's not twisting as well. So they've actually changed their design. They've made these bars here a lot thicker. They're not breaking or snapping. I just noticed that they're a lot less flexible than their non-battery version. Still nice and secure though. I don't like that. The fact that you can open this up and then just push it in, I would much rather that just locked into place. Like, does their non-battery version do it? So the non-battery one does it as well. It's not too bad because even if it doesn't do it the other way, if it did it the other way, like if it moved, if I tried to pull it, I would be far more concerned because it means if it's on your head, there's a potential for it to get looser over time. With it only moving if you push it in, it only means the headset's going to get tighter, not looser. Still, I would have liked to have seen the ratchet lock into place rather than have that amount of free play. Now the Kiwi Design K4 Boost has one of the smallest batteries out of all of the ones we're going to look at. It just has a 5,300 milliamp hour battery. Now that's going to get you sort of 1 to 2 hours of gameplay extra with your headset. The advantage of that is it gives you a lighter headset. So that's that trade-off between, do you have more battery life but a heavier headset, or less battery life and it will charge quicker because there's less to charge and it's going to be lighter. Heavy, more power, lighter, quicker charging, take your pick. So whilst it does have a 5,300 milliamp hour battery, it's going to give you an extra sort of 1 to 2 hours of gameplay on top of the battery life of your Quest 3 or your Quest 3S, and it only weighs 358 grams. So it's over 100 grams lighter than the Q3 Pro that we just looked at. One of the coolest features of the K4 Boost, and we'll look at their H4 Boost in a minute as well, is that it has dual charging. So it can take a 45 watt charger and you plug that into the back using this USB-C port underneath, and it will provide 22.5 watts of power to the battery and 22.5 watts of power to the headset pass-through, so it can charge both the battery and the headset at the same time. So it's not doing what a lot of other cheaper headsets do, or head straps do, where it charges the battery, then the battery charges the headset. It's actually charging both at the same time. And that's an awesome feature to have on this head strap. The weight of the Kiwi Design K4 Boost is 358 grams. The price for the K4 Boost is $70 retail, but you can get it for $56 at the moment. Still keeping in with the Kiwi Design family, they also do an H4 Boost, which is a Halo version of this head strap. So those clip onto both sides, then this bar here clips on to the bar in the headset itself. And it's height adjustable as well. So there's a dial at the top here. So I can make it bigger or I can make it shorter. And then we clip this in here, and then we're all ready to go. From a battery perspective, so it's the same 5,300 milliamp hour battery. The dial for adjusting is the same as well, and it sits really well on my head. It's really nice and light. Now, most companies with Halo style head straps have this solid forehead bar going across the top. However, Kiwi Design have done it slightly differently, whereas they've got this hollowed out design, and that helps to keep your forehead a lot cooler. And that's great because I tend to get quite hot when I'm playing. And it also pivots quite a bit, so it can be contoured to anybody's head shape. It does also come with this headband or top band across the top as well for attaching the back to the front, but the same as any other the Halo straps that I've tried, I generally just take this off and don't use it because it's not really serving much of a purpose. You can also choose how close the headset is to your face by moving the arms up and down the head strap, and it just sits in place. And it has the same dual pass through, so charging both the battery and the headset at the same time as their Elite style headset. Now, pricing for this is more expensive. It retails for $80 and you can get it for $72 at the moment. Now we're on to the Binbok. Now this is the Binbok T3S Plus. This is their brand new battery head strap, not to be confused with the earlier T3. So padded top strap, nice and wide, same as a lot of the other Elite style head straps that we've looked at. We've got the dial at the back, nice and firm, doesn't move when you push it or pull it, it stays fixed and in place. That I really like. You've got the battery on the back. This whole thing is the battery, which comes off like this, snaps on like that. You've got the 4 bars across the top to tell you how charged it is, and it glows up at the back as well to tell you if you're using it. Looking at the back, you don't have a padded back. We're back to sort of a soft silicone cut on the back of your head. I do prefer a padded back pad, but it's comfy. So yeah, really flexible, not gonna break. Pretty much stress testing that. You can hear it beep when the battery comes off, when it goes on again. 8,000 milliamp hour battery here. Now the pricing for this is $99 retail, but you can get it for $90. Now that seems really expensive, except you don't just get one battery, you get two. And you don't just get two batteries, you get a charging dock as well. So for the price of $90, you get a head strap, you get two batteries, 16,000 milliamp hours of power, and a charging dock. That is really good value for money on a head strap that I've actually found really comfortable and easy to use. If you want value for money, this head strap I think is pretty much it. Now we're on to probably the most well-known head strap if anyone's been looking at head straps for a while, and this is the Bobo VR S3 Pro. So on the back you've got this massive, really wide padded back pad, so it's really comfortable on the back of your head. You've got this forehead bar across here as well, that fits nicely across my forehead as well. You also have these top pads which are height adjustable, or you can actually completely take them off. So up here is an LED display. Now this is going to show you the amount of power that is in your battery, and you can change it to change the fan speed on the headset itself, or the head strap itself. So here's the display. You can see it's at 100%. You turn it to fan, you can make it louder. That's at full loudness. But we can turn it down so it doesn't blow as much air onto your face, and it just makes it a bit quieter. After you've had it on for a while, as soon as you turn it off, you really notice the heat from the headset sort of going onto your forehead. So it does make a fair bit of difference. So these are the B100 batteries. They are 10,000 milliamp hour batteries, so they give you an extra 2 to 3 hours of gameplay on top of the battery life you get with your headset. And swapping these is really easy. You just take it off, put a new one on, take that off, put a new one on. So you can literally have one charging whilst the other one's being used and just keep swapping them over. Price-wise, the head strap comes with one battery and it's going to cost you $70. If you want to get another battery, so you've got two, that's going to cost you another $40. However, if you also want the docking station, well, that's another $40. So you've now gone from $90 to $170 for a charging dock, two batteries, and a head strap. So suddenly the Binbok one with its two batteries and a docking station and a head strap for $90 now seems like really good value. I mean, the batteries are slightly smaller, they're 8,000 here instead of 10, but I think that still makes that really good value for money. Another option that you could look at though is the Bobo VR M3 Max. Now that is basically the M3 Pro, but it replaces the B2 battery and has a B100 battery on it. So if you want to save a bit of money, that's going to cost you $70. So weight-wise and price-wise, okay, we just had the Q3 Pro that was 444 grams, costing you $50. The Kiwi Design K4 Boost, 358 grams, costing you $56. Kiwi Design H4 Boost, 446 grams, that's going to cost you $72. The Bimbock T3S Plus, that's 423 grams, and that's going to cost you $90. The Bobo VR S3 Pro is 547 grams. It is the heaviest out of all the ones that we just looked at. That's going to cost you $90. And then finally we have the M3 Max, that's 494 grams, and that's going to cost you $70. So we've covered a ton of head straps, both non-battery and battery versions, Halo style, Elite style, anything from $16 up to $170. So out of all of that, I'm hoping that you'll be able to find a head strap that suits your needs and your budget, so you can go and upgrade your Quest 3 or your Quest 3S. I will put purchase links to everything that I've gone through in this video in the description down below so that you can go check them out for yourself. If you want to check out some more accessories for your headset, then be sure to check out the link up here. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and share it. Consider subscribing if you're not. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.